Hello and welcome to this comic book review. This episode is about Fantastic Force, Volume 1, from 1994 to 1995. This comic book series contains 18 issues, and I read numbers 1 to 6 and numbers 11 to 18. I could not find issues 7 to 10. Those are only 3 of 18 in total that are missing, so I guess my review is still going to be valid. So, the heroes of the Fantastic Force are Franklin Richards, the son of Mr. Fantastic. He is also known as Psylord. His powers aren't really well described, besides many statements that he's incredibly powerful. I guess you gotta read some other comics to really understand him and his abilities. Then there is Deathlore, the inhuman boy who's able to transform himself into an ape-like creature. Vibraxus, the living human vibrator from Wakanda that looks like a cheap Power Man knockoff. Huntera, the warrior woman with some axe-like weapon who talks in medieval style as Thor does. There is a really weird variety of villains, like the Seeker and Claw and Lord Moses, Zarathustra, that are not really well known. There are many guest appearances from other heroes, like She-Hulk or Black Panther. Also Human Torch, who even joins the team. He probably joined this group to spice it up a little, and this group kinda needed that. It's not a very well balanced group. The main topic is to find your identity. Nobody really knows who or what they shall become in the future, and it feels like the authors didn't know either. The protagonists are all standing in the shadows of other people whom are greater than they are, and they have trouble to overcome this and to simply be themselves. The artworks are incredibly typical for the 90s. It's not bad, but far from what we are used to now. The dialogues are also pretty retro and sometimes kinda hard to read them. They feel as unrealistic as in a low-budget action movie. The enemies don't really follow a huge continuity in this series, which is probably the case because there is no main plot going on here. Only some plot pieces that are scattered amongst the series, like fighting Lord Moses, or Psylord's alternatives from different realities, the dimension of Elsewhen, Vibraxus in court, of course the only black guy of the team has to be in court, and many other situations. Nonetheless, it has its entertaining moments to see how the heroes overcome themselves, or at least try to do so, and that's nice. As the name Fantastic Four seems to imply, this was probably planned as some kind of a follow-up team for the Fantastic Four that were apparently dismantled at that time. But honestly, they didn't have what it takes to follow up in the footsteps of such a famous balanced team like the Fantastic Four, and they of course didn't. Another thing is, well, this is sci-fi, and it can sometimes be really futuristic and mind-twisting stuff going on in this kind of scenarios. And then there is this really spaced up sci-fi stuff where you're just thinking, the hell is going on? So this is rather the second type. It's readable, but not really recommendable unless you're a huge Franklin Richards fanboy or simply into very weird sci-fi stuff. Thanks for your attention. Have fun.